how about to the nightcap, Victor Wembanyama on the Spurs with a 2-1 lead in Minnesota. And Jay Will, we're going to pick this up. Let's go right to the moment. Second quarter, Spurs down 2. Wemby and Naz Reid under the basket. You're going to see Naz Reid go down like a sack of bricks. And then you're going to see exactly why it is, and I don't mean this in any sort of way, a jaw-dropping moment.
I think Wemby killed a man with the trident.
That is quite an elbow to the chops. There's no other way to say it. Reid goes down. In a league filled with flopping and such, this certainly did not appear to be that, and the referees saw it that way as well. They call it a flagrant 2. You can see Wemby saying, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm ejected? The answer is, oui, monsieur. You're out of the game for the first time in his career, so he leaves. And then his teammates put up a fight. What a game this turned out to be. Late in the fourth quarter, we'll talk more about him in a minute. Timberwolves are down 6, season on the line. Ant Edwards knocks down a 3, and then he'll knock down one more.
Hey, when the talent level dropped after Wemby was off the court, Anthony Edwards was able to do exactly what he wanted to do, and his talent prevailed.
And this was back and forth all night long. Spurs down 1. Alan, they got a nice game from Dylan Harper last night.
The rookie did not look like a rookie. He was taking it to the rack. A ton of points in the paint for the Spurs. And those 4 guards kept them in this.
Look at that pass from Naz Reid to Rudy Gobert. T-Wolves up 2 after making the free throw. 3 minutes left. T-Wolves up 2. Reid, no. Edwards, tough finish.
Oh yeah.
He had 36. Minnesota by 4.
That's Luke Cornett.
20 seconds left. T-Wolves trying to inbound the ball.
This is crazy.
Io is trapped in the corner. He's got to call a timeout. Timeout. We have no time to get the ball over the line. The Timberwolves are going to inbound, and they have to get it over the line. 13 seconds to play in a 3-point game. Look at this effort.
With the
Look
foot.
at the effort by Dosunmu. You're going to see it again
Look
right
at the
here.
foot. Look at the foot.
Yeah,
The
watch
foot
his
keeps
leg.
it in bounds.
This is going out of bounds
Look at
until
the foot.
It's like a hockey goalie making the save. Timberwolves hold on. Tie the series at 2 games apiece. But afterwards, the talk was about Wemby. Here's the San Antonio coach.
Every single play on every single part of the floor, people are trying to impose their physicality on him. I get it. We get it. That's part of the game. But at some stage, he's gotten chucked. He's gotten pushed down in transition, running freely, all the stuff. He doesn't complain one time. We don't complain because we're just going to play. We don't really give a excuse my language. But at some stage, he should be protected. And if not, he's going to have to protect himself. And unfortunately, stuff like that happens. At some level, it's starting to get actually disgusting just in terms of when he tries to fight through things and be professional and mature and deal with some of that stuff. I'm glad he took matters into his own hands. Again, not in terms of hitting Naz Reid, but let me be very clear about that. I'm glad Naz Reid was okay, and I didn't want him to elbow him. But he's going to have to protect himself if they're not. And I think it's disgusting.
While he was clapping, while he was talking, you were fired up. What are you fired up about?
I mean, this is playoff basketball, right? So I thought the call was correct. I thought it should have been a flagrant 2. I don't think he should miss a game for that. But this is the growth lever that every superstar needs to go through. Remember when Jordan used to get his head beat in by Detroit?
Yeah.
Like, that's the way you get after a guy like Wemby, who is the most skilled player in the court, but he is still skinny. So you're physical with him. You hit him up, you beat him up, and you get him to react. Isn't the guy that always reacts to the bully the one that gets caught?
In sports, yes.
And that's what happened to Wemby here.
So, Wendy, what are the right things to say here? I do want to ask you also, do we expect a suspension? He was ejected early in the second quarter, so essentially he missed a game. I think reasonably speaking, we can say he missed a game here. Maybe this would be adjudicated differently if it happens late in the fourth quarter. So what should we expect going forward, and what was your reaction to what happened and what the coach said?
Yeah, the league will review it. It is standard to review all flagrants. I do think there's a chance he will get a fine for this play. It met every criteria of a flagrant foul. Unnecessary, excessive, wind up above the shoulders. With all due respect, Jay, I completely disagree. You absolutely do not take yourself out of a game like this. I think Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs have shown incredible maturity. They have been praised up and down for it the entire season and this postseason. This was a very immature act by a player who took himself out of a game, opened the door for his team now to lose leverage in the series. And while I understand you're going to defend your superstar, Absolutely not. No way can Mitch Johnson say that. If you want to have somebody protect Victor Wembanyama, you bring in somebody else off the bench and have him protect him. You do not have your star player throwing elbows like that. And he will avoid a suspension now. He better not do this again because he would get suspended for this kind of hit. It is now 2-2, and he's going to have, I have no doubt, he'll play in a way that will make us forget that. Absolutely unacceptable to do this in a playoff game. And then also to act like he didn't know what the results were on the bench. Victor is one of the smartest young players I've ever come across. He knew exactly what he had done. He knows exactly what happens on a flagrant 2 foul. Immature moment from a very mature player. The Spurs will move on, but it's going to hurt.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. I'm not condoning somebody getting elbowed in the face.
Yeah.
What I'm condoning is I love playoff basketball because it reminds me of the way playoff basketball was in the 90s.
You're saying what the Timberwolves were doing was trying to provoke him, and that in this case, it may have worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the strategy against a guy like
all
Wemby.
the things that Mitch Johnson said. First of all, he's defending his player. He's got to say these things, even though I don't think he really meant everything he said. He even caught himself when he said, I'm glad he did it, and then realized, whoa, I'm not glad he actually elbowed a guy. But when you talk about, my guy's getting chucked, my guy's getting pulled down in transition, this is playoff basketball. And this is your first experience as a superstar player in Victor Wembanyama, who's a guy that loves all the smoke, loves to create it. Well, you're going to face it, especially against a Timberwolves team like this. That's a tough physical team. You know what you're going to deal with. Ask Nikola Jokic what that was all about. And so he has to understand it. This was an immature moment for him that he's got to learn from. But this is the example of a first-time experience in the playoffs.
My first thought, Greeny, was that was not ethical basketball.
Very good. Very good.
And honestly, because Victor Wembanyama has been so candid about his desire to win, I wondered how apologetic he might be in the postgame. Because I think he knows everything that Wendy said in terms of the moment. Is it also part of his arc as a superstar villain, whatever you want to call him in this league, as a phenomenon for sure? Yes, but he's going to learn from this.
Can I ask the two of you who played, and this is, and even Alan, you played the game at a high level. Is that intentional? Like, I know that he swings the elbow intentionally. I know that he's trying to clear out space and all of that. And I'm not in any way questioning whether it should have been a flagrant 2. It, as Wendy said, it met all the criteria. It happened somewhat quickly. I've never played basketball at anywhere near this level. Does he intend to elbow him in the face like that?
I think he does.
Yes.
Yes,
I
you're
think
saying
he
yes.
does. Can I switch? Okay.
I'm with Jay.
Look at my face. 9 stitches, 13 stitches. I've gotten punished before. There are a couple times I've gone down, somebody's like, yo, Bob, get away from here. You know what I did next time? My ass didn't go down there. I think there are different ways to set. I'm not saying that's correct, but there is a level of physicality all of a sudden. I think in today's game of basketball, we love to call it. He's not a villain.
The other thing,
He's not a villain. He's just playing. That's hard basketball.
I will add, this is a human compelling experience.
Yes.
This is we keep talking about this being their first run through the postseason. He snapped for a minute. You literally can see it. He snapped. Get off. Bye. Like, we're not calling him dirty. This is playoff basketball. This was a human experience. It is also unacceptable moving forward. Tough lesson to learn.
It was a moment of frustration. So I was literally knocked out cold by something like that exactly in a college game where I was playing physical defense, getting in a player's face, and he turned and got me in. The next thing I saw were the lights. And the next thing I knew, I was in the back. I didn't even know where I was. And that stuff happens. And it wasn't a dirty player. He just had enough with me. And it's as simple as that.
Reacted.
He just turned, caught me, and the next thing I knew, I was seeing the lights.
All right, so I had intended to get Wendy in on the lottery here. We're not going to have time for the moment. We'll deal with it with Jay a little bit later. Wendy, let me give you some final word time here on this, where this series stands now, going back to San Antonio 2-2. We do not expect Wembanyama to be suspended for another game. We'll have to wait and hear that officially. So how would you sum up where this series stands after 4 games?
Ant Edwards was terrific down the stretch of this game. He has looked healthier game by game. And now we give Ant an opportunity to play in a big road playoff game. He has done this and won and led his team in big playoff games before. Obviously, they've already won down in San Antonio. 2-2 series, game 5. This is where superstars show up. Wembanyama and Ant have been going back and forth. It's a potential heavyweight fight now. 3-game series, best of 3, and I expect it to be a raucous finish.
Yeah, this series is shaping up in all the big ways, and if the Spurs wind up losing it here, we're going to remember this moment. as a turning point because they were right there to win it. Windy wasn't even scheduled to work today. He stuck around a little extra time to do this for us. He's got to get to the airport. Windman, thank you as always. We'll see you as the week